And when he got here, once the minicamp started, he came back with ability, maturity. And he comes up, Zaire Mitchell-Payton, first-year player, I should say. Protecting, and Henry lost the football. And the Bills are down there.
All right, week 1 is in the books, and we got several good games, including one of the greatest Sunday night games of all time. There's a lot to talk about. Let's just get into it. Starting with the Eagles versus Cowboys, this was a solid game to open the season. We all expected the Cowboys to get blown out, especially with Micah Parsons gone, but it wasn't. The game was close. It was competitive. Dak's stats don't appear to be anything crazy, but if you actually watch the game, Dak was playing good football. So if anyone is saying Dak is ass, shut the fuck up. And I found the whole spitting situation with Jalen Carter hilarious. Dak rage baited Jalen Carter and got him ejected, which is a high IQ move. Anyways, this game came down to CeeDee Lamb dropping those passes at the end of the game. Dak made good throws, and it was just CeeDee Lamb just couldn't hold on to the ball. So it sucks. But on the Eagles side, they look a bit rusty, but Jalen Hurts was still able to effectively run the ball. He got 2 scores in, and the Eagles should be back to their Super Bowl form by mid-season. AJ Brown fantasy owners lost it as he was barely targeted, but overall a solid game to open the season.
We had shots all night.
Alright, next game, Chiefs versus Chargers. So for this game, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game. And looking at the Chiefs, there's definitely a bit of concerns for them. They lost Xavier Worthy. That was the biggest thing. They lost him at the beginning of the game. I think it was like the 3rd play. He got knocked out by Travis Kelce. And then their defense, definitely, it looked like it's taking a step down, especially from last year. They couldn't create pressure with just 4 people rushing. They needed to send more blitzes to get pressure. And so it wasn't a good performance by the Chiefs defense. Quinn Johnston, all of a sudden he can catch. He had 5 receptions, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ladd McConkey was eating them alive. He was eating the secondary. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of concern for the Chiefs defense. And then Patrick Mahomes, as much as I hate him, dude, lots of the plays he made in this game, it's like I just gotta respect it. I gotta respect those kind of plays that Patrick Mahomes makes. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I hate the Chiefs, I hate the fan base, I hate their team, you know what I'm saying? But damn, when I see plays like that, it's just like, I gotta respect it. For Mahomes, it's not Mahomes I'm concerned about. He did everything he could. As a matter of fact, he was our leading rusher, which is a pretty huge problem. Like, you shouldn't expect that from your quarterback every single game. So the running backs for the Chiefs need to lock in. Hollywood Brown was their leading receiver, 10 catches, 99 yards. That's a hilarious stat line. But for the Chargers, Justin Herbert, he was elite, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns. Madison Beer before the game must have done some things. But either way though, Justin Herbert balled out. Amarian Hampton had his moments. But overall, this was a good game. I enjoyed it.
Jesus, you look shitty. I should just put you out of your misery right now.
The first Sunday game, Dolphins versus Colts. And for this game, Mike McDaniels is gone. Like, there's no doubt about it. It's just a matter of when he's going to get fired. But for sure, he's going to get fired at some point this season. To be honest, he should be fired by next week, man. Because this Dolphins team was fucking terrible. The defense was awful. Tua played awful. Fuck, man. Everything about the Dolphins was horrible. And they made the Colts look like a fucking good-ass team, even though the Colts, like, I'll give them respect. Like, they beat the Dolphins. I thought the Dolphins were going to win. So Daniel Jones had a career game, which is crazy. 272 yards, 1 touchdown, and I believe he had like 2 rushing scores. Michael Pittman had a pretty good game, 6 receptions, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. But yeah, man, overall for the Dolphins, like, yeah, no, they're gonna blow up their front office. They're gonna get a new GM, new head coach, and then if Tua doesn't turn it around, like, he could also, like, he might be gone too. Like, if the Dolphins end up with the top 5 pick, are they gonna, like, take a quarterback? Because, like, if Tua keeps playing like shit, then I don't see why they would keep Tua. And like, they gave him like a big contract, like a $200 million plus contract, and that's just like, it doesn't look like it's aging well at this point in time. So Tua needs to like step it up. Otherwise, like, he could be a quarterback that's going to be looked at to cut, to trade or something. With Tua, it hasn't really been the best contract, hasn't really aged the best. Tua needs to step up. He needs to lock in. He needs to start playing a lot better. He needs to start playing like a $200 million quarterback. And then Tyreek Hill, he's probably going to request a trade at some point too, especially if the Dolphins keep losing. But yeah, this was overall just a bad game from the Dolphins. Looking at the Colts, like I said, they had a pretty good game. The offense was really good. And then the defense, they had a few turnovers, so that was cool. Colts, they're definitely going to be a solid team, I feel like, if they keep playing like this. But they got to go against Denver's defense next week, so I don't know how much they'll be able to do. But for this game, the Colts played good.
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
All right, next game, and one of my favorite games of the week, Steelers versus Jets, 34-32. This was a high-scoring game, and it was amazing. I loved this game. I really like what I saw from Justin Fields. He was making good, accurate throws. He was connecting with Garrett Wilson. And then for Aaron Rodgers, he had 4 touchdowns. He looks like he could be a good quarterback. So overall, this was a really good game by both quarterbacks. Breece Hall was really good, had over 100 yards. Garrett Wilson, like I said, he had 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Even though the Jets lost, like, if I'm a Jets fan, I'm happy from what I saw from Justin Fields. I'm happy from what I saw from Breece Hall. I'm happy from what I saw from the offense. It just sucks that they couldn't do enough to beat the Steelers, but it was still a fun game though. It was still close. Chris Boswell for the Steelers, he's clutch. Overall, this was a really good game. If the Steelers can keep playing like this, then who knows? They could be a pretty good team. They're probably going to make the wild card if they keep playing like this. But as far as the Jets, I think they also could have a chance at making at least the wild card if they keep playing like this. Jets, they look a lot better than the Dolphins. I thought they looked better than the Patriots yesterday. So if the Jets keep playing like the way they are right now, then they could finish second behind the Bills in the AFC East. It's still only week 1, so we'll have to see what happens after this game for both teams. You know, if Aaron Rodgers can be consistent, if Justin Fields can be consistent. But overall, I really enjoyed this game. All right, next game, Panthers versus Jaguars, and I don't know what to say about Bryce Young anymore. Like, I was really hoping the Panthers would have won this game. I really thought Bryce Young, or I really hoped that he would have continued with the way he ended last season, but he didn't. He had 2 picks and just didn't look good overall, man. And fuck, dude, like, he's such a likable guy. He's not a good quarterback. He, at least at this moment, like I said, still only week 1, but it feels like that's been the same thing we've been saying for Bryce Young for 2 years now. So hopefully Bryce Young can turn it around. It's week 1, no one's eliminated, so the Panthers still have a chance at least to be competitive. But for Bryce Young, man, like, he needs to step it up. He's another quarterback that's like, he's on a watch list right now. If he has a bad season, then it might be time to like look for a new quarterback for the Panthers. So as far as the rest of the offense, I mean, Tetairoa McMillan, he had a pretty decent day, 5 receptions, 68 yards. And for the Jaguars, the highlight was Travis Etienne. He had that big run, and then he had 16 carries for 143 yards, so he was elite this game. Trevor Lawrence played all right, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But overall, for this game, it was all right. Not really that good of a game. Jaguars had control for most of it. So, yeah, hopefully Bryce Young can start turning it around. And for the Jaguars, I mean, hey, they might have a shot since the Texans didn't really look that good this week either. All right, next game, Cardinals versus Saints. So for this game, I was watching it on Red Zone. And to be honest, Spencer Rattler didn't really play that bad, to be honest. Especially at the end of the game where he led that drive and almost scored to tie the game. I saw that on Red Zone, and I was pretty impressed. It was just, I think it was Jawan Johnson that dropped the pass, but it was a pretty good pass from Spencer Rattler. He had over 214 yards, so Spencer Rattler played pretty decent, in all honesty. And for the Cardinals, Kyler Murray was alright. He had 2 touchdowns, 163. Trey Benson was one of the highlights for the offense. He had 8 carries, 69 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 5 receptions, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. So there's definitely some bright spots for the Cardinals on their offense. And if the Cardinals are going to compete for the division, Kyler Murray needs to step it up a little bit. You know, they got to be consistent on offense. Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to have another game like this. Trey Benson needs to have another game like this. And yeah, overall, this was a solid game. All right, next game, Giants versus Commanders. So for this game, Russ was terrible. The O-line was terrible. Definitely, the Giants should prioritize the O-line this offseason because, like, this O-line was just bad this game. I was watching this game on Red Zone. Russ was getting hit multiple times. He was getting hit as he threw. And so I don't think the Giants should start Jackson Dart at all because, like, he's going to get mauled behind the offensive line if he starts. So Malik Neighbors, he had a calm day, 5 receptions, 71 yards, and he's probably going to continue to be the highlight of the offense for the rest of the season. But yeah, this was just a bad performance by the offense, by the offensive line, by Russ. And then for the Commanders, Jane Daniels had a calm day, 233 yards, 1 touchdown. He was pretty good. Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt continues to be a guy we should all be looking at. 10 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Deebo Samuel, he had 7 receptions, 77 yards, so that was a pretty good day by Deebo. And overall, this was an alright game. It was mainly the Commanders that had control of the game. It's just going to be rough for the Giants. Like, they have the hardest schedule in the league, and if they play like this, it's going to be a long season for the Giants.
Weezy, Coe from 44. It is wide to the right. No good.
Alright, next game, Buccaneers versus Falcons. And this was another good game. This was another game that I was watching on Red Zone, and it was amazing. It was fire. Michael Penix, he might actually be good. Like, he was balling. He had 298 yards, 1 touchdown. I believe he had a rushing touchdown too. Like, Michael Penix, like, fits perfectly into this offense. And also, Bijan Robinson, he was elite receiving. He led the team, which is crazy. 6 receptions, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. So that was really cool. And then for Emeka Egbuka, he was pretty good. He had 4 receptions, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. So big Ohio State guy. That's really cool. Baker Mayfield, he had an alright day, 167, but also had 3 touchdowns. And fuck, man, this game came down to the Falcons kicker. He fucking missed it at the end of the game. Fuck, man. Yeah, that just sucks. That was unlucky. This is anyone's division, in my opinion. Like, both teams were competing. Both teams could have won. Any team could have won. So, if both teams continue to play like this, then it's really anyone's division. Like, these are 2 pretty good teams, and either one could win the division. Alright, next game is Bengals versus Browns, and the Bengals continue to be slow. They continue to start the season slow. Joe Burrow, he only had 113 yards and 1 touchdown. Like, they're definitely still not playing their best. Like, if they would have played against a better team, then they probably would have lost. Like, the Browns were another team that was a field goal away from winning this game, so it's just, I don't know, the Bengals, they continue to start slow. Chase Brown had a non-productive day. He had 21 carries and only 43 yards, but at least he had a touchdown. And yeah, man, Jamar had a bad game, didn't really do much. T. Higgins was a leading receiver, 3 receptions, 33 yards. Jerry Jeudy for the Browns, he had 5 receptions, 66 yards. Dylan Sampson was alright, but Joe Flacco, he continues to be a solid quarterback. Like, he had 290 yards, 1 touchdown. Like, Joe Flacco can still ball. And like I said, the Browns were, like, competitive. Like, they were a field goal away from winning. And there's definitely a few bright spots for the Browns. I was watching Harold Fannin Jr. He looks like he's going to be a good weapon for the Browns and for their future. This wasn't a bad game by the Browns. Like, they really did all they could. The Browns defense looks like they're gonna have a good season. So yeah, man, like I said, the Bengals were close to losing this game. The Browns competed. They honestly should have won. But that's what I got for this game. All right, next game, Raiders versus Patriots, and the Raiders beat them. So the Raiders, they had pretty much had control of the game for most of it. They definitely looked like the better team overall. Geno Smith had a really good day in the air, 362 yards, 1 touchdown. Drake May, he was all right, 287 yards, 1 touchdown. I think the Patriots still need talent on the offense. Like, Drake May still needs a really good wide receiver 1. Like, there's, in my opinion, there's still not enough talent. There's still room for improvement on the New England offense. Trevion Henderson had an alright day, 5 carries, 27 yards. Kayshon Boutte led the team in receiving, 6 receptions, 103. Brock Bowers continues to be elite, 5 receptions, 103 yards. And I believe I saw him walking off the field with an injury, but I think they came out and said that it's nothing serious, so that's good news. But like I said, Brock Bowers, elite. Ashton Jeanty had an alright day, 19 carries, 38 yards. Not really efficient, but at least he had a touchdown. And overall, like I said, this game was mainly in control by the Raiders and the New England Patriots. I think they still should consider looking at wide receivers, looking to bring somebody in for Drake May. And another close and crazy game, 49ers versus Seahawks. So for this game, this was a pretty slow game. It was really competitive, but at the end, 49ers were able to get that last minute touchdown with Brock Purdy, and then one of the tight ends for the 49ers, he snagged it from Tariq Woolen, and it looked like that pass was going to get picked off, but no, the tight end caught it. And Tariq Woolen, from what I've heard, he didn't really play that great, but Brock Purdy, he had 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had an alright day. Christian McCaffrey appears to be healthy, 22 carries, 69 yards. So 49ers better pray that Christian McCaffrey stays healthy. Ricky Pearsall actually had a really good day, 4 receptions, 108 yards. Sam Darnold was not really that great. Brock Purdy outplayed him. Zach Charbonnet was alright. He was their leading rusher, 7 yards, 1 touchdown, 12 carries. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, he had a really good game, 9 receptions, 124. He's going to be the highlight of the Seattle offense. Overall, I thought the Seahawks were going to win, and there's definitely a lot to look at for the Seahawks. There's definitely a lot they need to improve on. There's definitely a lot they need to lock in. But overall, this was a pretty good game. It was definitely a close game. It was really good at the end. Alright, next game, my Broncos versus the Titans. And for this game, I'm just going to start off with the Broncos. Bo Nix didn't play good. Like, he was struggling. He was throwing behind wide receivers. He threw 2 interceptions. It was overall not really a good day by Bo Nix. It was not really a good day by the offense, at least in the first half. The Titans defense was low-key pretty good in the first half, but then the Broncos were able to establish the run game. RJ Harvey was really explosive. J.K. Dobbins had that touchdown. Overall, like I said, Bo Nix, I really hope he plays better. Next game, he at least had a touchdown to Cortland Sutton, so that's really cool. But like I said, he struggled this game, and the Titans defense honestly is a little bit underrated. Jeffrey Simmons was getting after Bo Nix, so Titans defense definitely competed. They definitely had a good day. And as far as the offense for the Titans, Cam Ward, he actually was making good throws, and his team definitely sold him at the end of the game. The Titans need to prioritize getting more talent on offense. This is another team that needs more talent. Cam Ward honestly did not look like a bad quarterback at all. He looked like he belongs in the NFL. He was making good throws, like I said. A good wide receiver would really help him. Like, the Titans just need to get better wide receivers. They need to get better weapons. But overall, it was a good, I would say it was a okay first start for Cam Ward. Like I said, he made good throws, but at the end, he was demolished by the Denver defense. And the defense for the Broncos, it's definitely going to be really good. This was overall a really good defense for the Broncos, and as long as we continue to play like this, we'll be in every game. If the defense continues to be elite, we'll be in every single game without a doubt. And it's just a matter of time for the offense. Hopefully this game was just rust. Hopefully next game against the Colts will be better. Alright, next game, Lions versus Packers. So there's definitely a lot to say about this game. I personally thought Dan Campbell would have been a lot better. I thought he would have showed in this game that he can still be a good head coach even without his coordinators. And I thought he would be able to do something without them. But overall, the Lions offense struggled, unfortunately. The Packers, they definitely look like a really good team. Like, if the Lions aren't careful, then who knows? The Packers, they could potentially be the division winners. They looked really good this game. Micah Parsons had his first sack as a Green Bay Packer. Jordan Love was pretty good, 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, overall, like, the Packers were in control of this game. Home field advantage helped them out really good. And yeah, man, the Lions, they need to look at their team. They need to lock in. They need to kind of reevaluate themselves. Dan Campbell needs to keep the team connected. He needs to keep the team motivated. And I still think the Lions are going to be a good team. But like I said, if they're going to go up against their really good teams, because they have a tough schedule, if they're going to go up against good teams, Lions definitely need to play a lot better. Hopefully this game was just rust from Jared Goff. But Isaac Tesla had a really good catch for a touchdown. So they definitely need to give more reps to him, see what they have. But yeah, man, like I said, the Lions definitely could play better than this. Like, they still have talent on their offense. Like, they still have a bunch of guys that could create plays, but it's just the play calling, the offense. Like, they definitely need to work on it and get back to how they looked like with Ben Johnson, if they can. But overall, Packers were the better team. They played like the better team. I think this was just a situation that the Packers were the better team this game. Alright, next game, Texans versus Rams, and this game really showed how bad the Texans O-line was. Like, it might be worse than what we thought, man. Like, this O-line was just awful. CJ Stroud was looking like angry, bro. He was looking like he was struggling. Overall, man, yeah, this O-line is just, it's gonna hold back the Texans. It's gonna hold back CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, like, he struggled the whole day, 188 yards, 1 interception. Nick Chubb had an alright day. He was decent, but other than that, man, there was like nothing good on the Texans offense. Nico Collins really didn't do that much, and it really came down to the Rams having an elite defense. Like, their pass rush, it continues. It's continuing from last season in the playoffs. Like, their pass rush is really good. Their defense is overall really good. That's definitely a bright spot for the Rams. They're a top defense in the league without a doubt. Matthew Stafford, he had a calm day, 245 yards, 1 touchdown. Puka Nacua had a really good day, 10 receptions, 130 yards. But the Texans, like, this team will go as far as their O-line. Alright, Sunday Night Football. This game was amazing, man. At first, like, it looked like the Ravens were going to win. They were up like 40-25, and it was like the fourth quarter. And I was like, yeah, no, the Ravens had been playing better. Their offense had been playing better. Derrick Henry was going off. Like, I thought it was wraps for the Bills, but nope. Somehow the fucking Ravens managed to choke this. That's wild. Josh Allen was elite, showed why he was the true MVP. 394 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson was also good, 209, 2 touchdowns, and then was elite rushing. Derrick Henry had a really good game against the Bills, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers had a really good game, 143 yards, 1 touchdown, and fuck, dude, it all came down to just the Ravens. They're not able to close out these games, I guess. From their playoffs to the regular season, like, there's just so many games that they should, like, close out. And if this is how they're gonna do in the playoffs, well, I don't know, maybe they're not as good as we all thought. It's only week 1. I don't know how much we can keep saying that, but, like, for the Ravens, they just gotta find out how to close these games out. Because, like, we know how talented the Ravens are. We know how talented Lamar Jackson is. It all comes down to just the team finishing, executing, closing out these games. That's what it's going to take. It's no longer questions on the roster, none of that. It's all going to come down to, can this Ravens finish this game? Can they close it out? Just put the team away. Next game, Vikings versus Bears, Monday Night Football. And all I can say is, what the fuck happened? Like, I was watching this game, and a small portion I missed, right? and that was like the beginning of the fourth quarter, right when the Vikings started to come back. That's what I was missing. And dude, I remember just like I stopped watching it for a second, and then I came back, looked at the score, and it was fucking the Vikings had the lead, and I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, dude, how did the Bears choke, bro? Like, they had full control of the game. They were up like what, 17-6, I believe, and they choked. They just, I don't know what to say. The Bears, they bared, I guess, man. It's the same old Bears. Fuck, dude. Like, they were in full control. They were at home, and just like that, all of a sudden, they just choked. As far as JJ McCarthy, he was struggling a lot the first half. For like, what, 2-3 quarters, JJ McCarthy was not playing good. He had that pick 6, but then fourth quarter, he fucking flipped the switch, got a bunch of touchdowns, came back, and that was really the moral of the story for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson sold a lot of parlays